All right, Sistas fans. Now, with the upcoming episode on Wednesday. I'm getting my days mixed up and the week has just started. We see that Jasmine and Gary will finally be in a scene together for the first time in this series. Heck, I mean, as far as we know, the only times those two have interacted off screen was when, Gary said that he yeah, that's right, because what he was going to give Andi a ring, but then Andi didn't accept it. Then he went home and gave it to his wife, and then what, within the same day, if not the next day, he decides to move out of the house and go stay with Andi. And instead of going back to the house like Andi suggested, he ended up being in a hotel, which begs the question, that ring he proposed to Andi with, number one, did he use that same ring to propose to any of his other girls? Number two, was this only because Andi is a lawyer and he wanted to, I guess you could say, um, you know, flatter her up so she would be willing to do what he needed in court? Um, did he happen to offer this same ring, if not multiple rings, to some of these different women? It's so many questions to ask, but at the same time, I really want to just pinpoint this one thing. Will Jasmine and Andi work together in order to take Gary for everything he has? Now, at this point, we know that Jasmine knows about Andi being one of the many women that has been involved with Gary. But is it a situation where perhaps the private investigator might kind of initiate a truce in terms of, Andi still ain't shit for what she did to you with your husband, but at the same time, now is as good a time as any to get your husband for everything he's got. So it could be that Jasmine and Andi tag team against Gary to just pretty much destroy him in court. Now, to be honest, this will damage Andi's reputation, but at the same time, if Jasmine agrees to work with her in order to take this case, then that will be good for the law firm. So it's just one of those situations where it's good for the company, but Andi's still going to be, well, for lack of a better phrase, a whore. Um, but given the fact that these episodes are pretty dramatic in the trailer, I'm thinking that either the scene where Aaron's ex-wife is at Karen's salon and seemingly shoots herself, I'm thinking that either that or Jasmine going over to Andi's place and meeting up with Gary and Andi. Either that scene is going to be the cliffhanger. Typically, whenever Jasmine shows up, it's a cliffhanger. It's the cliffhanger, then she's in the opening minutes of the next episode, then she's gone for an episode or two and comes back. But it depends, because Tyler Perry, what, on the Oval last week, you had Tally shoot herself in the mouth. That was the freaking cliffhanger. So then you have Aaron's wife with a gun. So I'm thinking either that or the Jasmine scene is the cliffhanger for next week. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think Jasmine and Andi will work together to take Gary for everything he's got? Or do you think, Jasmine's just going to say, screw this, I'm going to divorce you and go to another law firm? But after seeing how effective Andi was with her friend, who just so happens to be an acquaintance of Gary, I forgot the exact amount, but I do know that Andi got the woman the house, and I forgot how many million. Was it 3 to 5 million? But I know the woman originally wanted like maybe 1 million or so, but Andi ended up getting her a couple million extra as well as the house. So that pretty much shows Jasmine that Andi's good at what she does, but at the same time, will she be, I guess you could say, open to listen to Andi? Because yeah, messing around for married man is low down, but at the same time, if you understand that Andi was a target specifically for divorce purposes, perhaps they could work together for the greater good, which is taking down Gary. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I do know there is an episode of Sistas coming on the 29th, which is next Wednesday. I guess we'll find out this upcoming Wednesday if next week's episode is the mid-season finale. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll talk to you later.